Hey, good morning, East Texas. Thanks so much for joining us on the CBS 19 Plus live stream. We're live on Facebook. If you have questions about the upcoming weather, I'll be doing my best to monitor the comments and get to those as quickly as possible. We're also live on CBS 19 Plus and on our YouTube channel. So let's get into it. Right now, we are seeing some showers and thunderstorms out to our west. Those should begin to pick up here in East Texas later in the day and in the afternoon. But we are seeing lots of thunderstorms out toward the Dallas area. Flash flood warning has been issued that goes through 9:15 for the Dallas area. It stops just out toward Mesquite, short of Terrell out there. Now here in East Texas, we are just seeing some clouds. There are a few pockets of some lightning out there. If you want to take a closer look at our radar, Palestine, Crockett, there are some lightning pockets that I'm watching. That's out toward Grapeland, Elkhart, just to the west of Crockett there toward Raynard. Just a bit of a picking up of our lightning. That's a signal that the storm is intensifying. Otherwise, lots of rain just out toward Athens. Canton is beginning to get the front end of this little storm system that's moving through. We're seeing a little extension of rain from Sulphur Springs to Mount Pleasant. That's just going to be very light showers. I'm not tracking anything heavy or even severe at this point. There is lots of lightning from Cooper down into the Canton area, just to the west of Canton, and all the way down to Crockett. Otherwise, the storm system does extend all the way down to parts of central and southern Texas and all the way into parts of the Gulf. Now, we're not seeing any severe weather at this point. We did have a few previous severe thunderstorm warnings get issued. That was in North Texas, north of Dallas area, between there and the Oklahoma state line. But we're seeing these begin to weaken. Now, there is a chance that they could begin to pick up again as we hit the afternoon, but most of this is going to be just general run-of-the-mill thunderstorms for you. So make sure that you are just staying weather aware. What I would do if I were you is, if you're heading out to the west this morning for your morning commute to work, or if you're just heading out there at all during this morning, maybe pack a bit of extra time into your drive. That way you're getting there safely. Let me put this in play for you so we can get a good look. You see, it was moving pretty quickly. It's beginning to slow down a bit, but it's still moving at about 25 to 30 miles per hour. Let me go ahead and throw a track on this so you can figure out when it'll get to your city. Now remember, these are just rough estimates, so don't get too attached to it, as we'll likely see this continue to move and shift a little bit. But if you look at the top left-hand corner of your screen, you can find your city on there, at least get a pretty close estimate of when we think the front end of the storm system will reach you. Palestine, that's closer to 8:05, Grand Saline around 8:15, Van closer to 8:25, out toward Pollock closer to 8:40-ish, Mineola a little after 8:40, Lindale, you have to wait until around 9 a.m. Tyler Pounds, again, that'll reach us closer to 9 a.m. Once again, that's just the front edge of this storm. This is going to continue to move out to the east. I'm seeing some questions about Henderson, Texas, and that's from Colton. And then Caitlin is asking about any tornado threats in East Texas, where I don't expect that it will be bad in Henderson or really in any of our East Texas cities. It's nothing that we haven't seen before. I don't think that we'll see a severe thunderstorm. That goes based off of the hail size as well as the wind gusts. So for us to get a severe thunderstorm warning, you need around 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts for that. The system just hasn't been producing that. It's been closer to 40, which is still on the stronger end of things, but not enough to create that severe thunderstorm type damage. Now, in terms of hail risk, we have seen some decent sized hail out of this, but again, it's staying below the severe level. You need to get about 1 inch in diameter. That's the size of a quarter of, about the size of a quarter of a hailstone coming down. We haven't been seeing that out of this system. In terms of a tornado threat, the energy really isn't there. The Storm Prediction Center doesn't have us under any risk of tornadoes here in East Texas. Here, let me see. I should have a graphic for you. I didn't use it this morning if you guys were watching, but let me see. Tornado potential. Let me make sure that this is day 1. Alrighty. Yep, this should be for today. I'm not seeing any tornado risk in our area. We just simply don't have the energy for it, but still we are tracking a risk of flooding. That will be the biggest impact to us. There is a tornado potential out in West Texas. I can zoom in on this for you. That's near Interstate 10, so I-10, Pecos, part of West Texas. That's pretty far away from us. That's a very low risk. And then there is another one up toward Oklahoma in the Panhandle, as well as parts of Kansas. Again, not here in East Texas, so we are not tracking that tornado potential here. Instead, we are tracking a risk of flash flooding, and that's because we have lots of heavy downpours that are in the forecast today, as well as over the next several days. Also, I just saw that my boss, Chief Meteorologist Brett Anthony, is watching, so hi, Brett. If you guys are watching, make me look good in front of my boss, all right? Well, here's a look at our future skycast. We have these showers and thunderstorms coming in from the west. It's going to be just pockets of rain. Not all of us are going to see storms today, and it'll be kind of an on and off shower situation. I do expect this to pick up as we get into the afternoon hours. It's going to be kind of on and off showers. I do suspect we could get a few hailstones out of this, as we have seen from the National Weather Service reports of hailstones that have come through, and the system is capable of producing that. But really, it's going to be kind of on and off, and we are expected to stay below that severe level. The bigger thing is going to be flooding. Remember to never drive into floodwaters and to stay extra cautious on the roadways. This will mainly impact your evening commute. Also, something to consider, we are tracking a pretty high likelihood of a decent amount of lightning out of these storms. So as your kiddos are coming home from school, there will likely be some lightning, as well as some isolated downpours to scattered downpours. You want to make sure that they have a way to get home that's not walking, because it's not going to be good weather for that. If they can carpool, take the school bus, or if you pick them up, that's going to be a good option for you as well. This continues all the way through the commuting hours. It begins to kind of calm down closer to that 10-11 p.m. mark. We could have a few isolated pockets of rain still at that time, but really that window when we're tracking the most thunderstorm activity, that's somewhere from around noon to 10 p.m. So about 10 hours, which is a pretty big window, but otherwise not huge severe weather risk. It's more so general run-of-the-mill showers and thunderstorms. I'm seeing questions about Longview. Longview, kind of the same as Henderson. We're expecting those showers to get to you sometime by the mid-morning, but it'll begin to pick up in the afternoon. The severe weather threat is low, so tornadoes are, if we see, would be very shocked if we see something spin. It's very, very unlikely that we see it. I'm not going to say it can't happen, because it's Mother Nature, and only Mother Nature knows what's going to happen, but any risk of tornadoes, exceptionally low today. The bigger thing is going to be gusty winds, hail, really that flood risk. And the reason why we're seeing the flood risk is not only today, but tomorrow and Friday, we are tracking some showers and thunderstorms that are coming through. We have a weather impact today, tomorrow, and all the way into Friday. Today, it does look like we have the most widespread rain coverage coming through, but still you want to make sure that you're staying weather aware. So let me walk you through future skycast one more time for today, and then let me show you what we're looking at for the end of the week. So this is today. We're going to see those showers begin to, they'll reach us sometime in the mid-morning, but I suspect we'll get more widespread coverage by the time that we get to lunch. So be prepared. You'll likely need your umbrella if you are heading out of the office at lunch, or if you usually sit outside. You might want to move that indoors. A lot of this will stay along and north of I-20 for the most part, but by the time we hit the early to mid-afternoon, it's going to expand coverage, and we'll see some isolated heavy downpours in deep East Texas. It's going to be kind of on and off rain throughout the day today. Even if you aren't receiving rain, you'll likely see that gloomy cloud cover overhead. So we're just getting that typical spring-like gloom across the area. Once again, this begins to calm down close to 10 p.m. at night. We'll stay mostly dry through the evening hours. So if you have a night shift, or if you are just out late, you should be mostly dry after 10 p.m. But we do have another chance of showers and thunderstorms in the forecast. That comes up as we head into tomorrow. So I'm going to switch weather models here to give you another look at what we're tracking. I'm picking this up right around 5 a.m. tomorrow. Again, a chance for some isolated pockets of rain. Once again, this is Thursday. we're not going to get much. That's not going to have a big impact on your commute. You may run into a few slick spots on the roads, so just make sure that you're staying cautious and aware, but that's not going to keep you from getting anywhere. By the time we get to Thursday afternoon, we are once again tracking widely scattered showers. Heavy downpours for the areas that you're seeing that are in red and yellow. We are tracking that risk of hail as well, maybe a stronger wind gust here and there, and some rumbles of thunder. This is going to continue with us all through the afternoon tomorrow. We'll get a chance to dry out sometime late in the evening before the early morning hours of Thursday. But then there is a third round of showers and thunderstorms on the way. That's coming in around sunrise on Friday. This little thunderstorm complex begins to swing through. I suspect we'll get some gusty winds out of this, as well as some hail, some heavy downpours, kind of the drill there. Again, I'm not seeing a high tornado potential for any of these days, but we are still several days out from this Thursday and Friday system, so make sure you keep checking back with us as we get more information in. We're going to solidify the forecast a little bit for you. But in terms of today, the bigger thing, hail, and then the potential for some flooding. Once again, Friday, it's going to mainly be in the morning. By the time we get to the midday and afternoon, scattered showers are in the forecast, but not quite as organized activity as what was in the forecast in the morning. Otherwise, we do have a chance to dry out as we head into the weekend. About a 20% chance of rain is on the way Saturday and Sunday. We begin to dry out Monday. Now, looking ahead to Tuesday, I'm giving you a week's heads up on this one. There is a risk of severe weather. This is new in from the Storm Prediction Center as of this morning. A 15% chance of severe weather is popping up for all the areas that are highlighted in yellow on your screen. So that's Canton, parts of Gilmer, Mount Pleasant, and back to the Dallas area. Again, so about 7 days out on this. This is going to continue to be widespread. So it just comes in clips, the Lone Star State going through Oklahoma and all the way up to the Great Lakes, including parts of Chicago. So a very widespread area. As we get closer to the actual day, the Storm Prediction Center will kind of narrow this down so we'll get a better idea. But what's happening, we have a cold front that's going to swing through and kind of kick up some showers and thunderstorms. Some of these could be on the strong to severe side, so we'll keep an eye on that for you. But just giving you a heads up if you have any plans coming up next week. But let's switch back to radar and give you guys a look at what's happening outdoors out there. Alrighty. Here's what we are currently looking at. Some showers and thunderstorms popping up. I'm still watching this little cell that's out toward Palestine. I suspect we're seeing a bit of a hail core form in there. Sometimes, let me see if I can switch over to our hail tracker. Sometimes this hail tracker does take a second to load in. So if you don't see anything for a second, don't worry about it too much. And then sometimes we just can't pull good data off of it. It looks like that may be the case for us today, but otherwise we are still tracking that big pocket of lightning out to the southeast, so make sure that you're staying weather aware out there. And again, I suspect we are seeing some hail. I haven't gotten any storm reports from there, but if we get them, we will of course let you know. Now that flash flood warning is still active for the Dallas area. That's going through 9:15. Remember to turn around, don't drown. I do have some flood statistics for you this morning. It really doesn't take that much moving water to have a real impact. So make sure that you are staying cautious. It only takes about 6 inches of water, moving water, to wash away an average adult. That knocks you off your feet. So a half a foot. Move that up to about 12 inches. That's enough to wash away a small vehicle. And if you drive a larger vehicle, like an SUV or a truck, it only takes 18 inches. So not a ton of water to move away something large like a car. Remember to turn around, don't drown. That's a mantra that you will want to repeat to yourself over the next several days. Alrighty, I'm going to go ahead and check our Facebook comments to see if you have any questions. It looks like we answered them this morning. I'm not seeing any more new questions in the chat. Let me give you just one last look on radar, see if we're seeing anything out there before. Oh, I wanted to show you guys our local storm reports. This is where we've gotten reports of damage. We got a few of these from the Dallas area. Alrighty, so if you take a closer look at your screen, where you're seeing those dots that are in blue, kind of looks like raindrops or hailstones. That's where we've gotten reports of some hail damage. That's near Denton, near Decatur, north of Keller. Some thunderstorm wind gusts out to the Plano area northwest of Plano. Little Elm, the Colony. This one that you're seeing right here, let me go ahead and click on it so you can see a little bit of it. That's a report of some thunderstorm wind damage. There was a tree that was reported to be downed at Warren Drive in Frisco. Radar estimated that it was around about an hour and a half, or I should say about an hour ago. Otherwise, the storm system is beginning to move off to the east. So again, it is capable of producing a few damaging winds, but I haven't gotten reports of many damaging wind gusts, so that's going to be not as big of an issue here as the potential for flooding this afternoon, as well as the potential for some hail. Let me go ahead and see if we can get a check on how gusty those winds are. Alrighty, there you go. You just saw it switch from red to green. We're just pulling off of a different radar site, so nothing to worry about there. All right, I'm gonna get a check of this near Canton. See if we can get a check of the wind gusts, about 30 miles per hour from our radar estimates near Canton. Emory putting it about 20 to 25. If I check a look near Athens, again, 20 to 25. So this is staying well below severe levels. I'm not worried about those wind gusts. We could have an isolated gust that is maybe on the stronger side, but just make sure that you're staying cautious as you're heading out on the roadways. We'll have more storm activity later this afternoon. Well, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Let me go ahead and leave you with our 7-day forecast so you can look at the week ahead. A weather impact alert is active today. We have another one on Thursday and on Friday, so 3 rounds of storms coming in. Today and tomorrow, the main threat window will be in the afternoon, so make sure that you are staying weather aware then. It'll be in the morning on Friday, so a bit of a switch there. Otherwise, the weekend, we are looking mostly dry. Don't forget, we have our CBS 19 Urban Kids Fishing Derby. If you haven't signed up for that, oh, it's getting close. That's when we are going to be, our chief meteorologist is going to be hosting a fishing derby in the morning. We'll stay pretty much dry for that, partly cloudy skies. The only thing is it may be a bit muddy on the banks of the lake, so make sure that you have your mud boots or your rain boots, just something that you are a-okay with mud getting on. We'll keep rain chances only about a 20% chance on Saturday, and on Sunday things begin to dry out Monday. That next rain chance is popping up on Tuesday. I hope you guys have a fantastic day ahead.